Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of the 11th guest. So we're trying to figure out where the solution to this puzzle is. Poor drainage should still produce a flower. Looking at the walkthrough because I have no interest in wandering around. I am supposed to leave this room. I wish it would just tell me what room to go to and make me have to figure that out myself. Which I assume I'm leaving the room through this door, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if these doors take you different places or what. I think they probably did originally. Leave the room through the door on the left, turn left and go forward once, and then turn right, which would take us to this painting, which has flowers on it, so no surprise. It says click on the white lily. Now I have no idea why the white lily is the solution, though. Poor drainage.
Man, it stinks in here. Like that dead raccoon your father found in the basement. Say what? You trying to tell me something?
Interesting that the guy is so willing to use this electronic device and is now just talking to it, particularly considering how an electronic device like that, it's not a cell phone, doesn't have a microphone, wouldn't have any of that stuff at all. So we now have a new hint.
It got higher from wine.
Okay, sounds like it got higher from wine. Well, there's a champagne bottle in one bedroom. There's pictures of dogs drinking alcohol in the billiards room. There's probably some wine in the waiting room downstairs, or the study, whatever that room would be called. Guess I could look in the map and see what it's called. The library. Could be wine in the kitchen, in the dining room, and pretty much anywhere. Higher might be a hint that you need to go up to the 3rd floor, which I didn't really see any wine in the other areas. It's also kind of weird that the chapel, gallery, and lab are all labeled as 3rd floor and beyond. And not willing to wander around, the walkthrough just says you turn left, go forward again, and then you go through the door on the left. You may not have been in this room yet. So, examine the pyramid puzzle on the small table and spell out 2 words unintentionally and straightforward. Okay. Before we do that, let's look around and see what this bedroom looks like. I feel like the problem with this house, instead of being a spooky mansion, is that it really is just kind of a house full of bedrooms. And what you would want to do is make this be a more crazy spooky mansion. There would want to be something totally unexpected, totally different in every room. Not just beds, not just TVs. Even if the beds and TVs are broken, it needs to feel like one room is just full of spiders and cobwebs, and one room's full of chains, or one room's full of dog cages, one room's full of plants. So unintentionally and straightforward. Well, you're not going to spell straightforward first, so it has to be unintentionally. But again, not really knowing the rules, I'm just gonna have to click here, and then apparently you. Let's see. I'm just gonna bring the walkthrough and look at it directly so I don't misspell the word. UN, I, and then the next thing would be in. Intention. So I guess it's this end. And that really just makes no sense at all. TEN now, so whatever T we can get. Unintent. Another T. And then ION. This makes no sense at all, though. It seems to just kind of work because of their moon logic. Then LLY. That sucks. And it would also really suck if you had to reset because you messed up at this point. And you would have to figure out what word you were going to spell with all these letters. These are extremely long words. These aren't like 9-letter words. Let's see. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15-letter word. You're not gonna just figure that out easily. Not most people. Even if you're a Scrabble champion, I think you're gonna have some trouble.
You got lucky that time.
And maybe you solve a puzzle like that and make it easier by throwing out several options, or having a dictionary somewhere that is turned to a specific page so you know the words that you're supposed to spell, and gives you a bit of a hint. So what's our next hint? It still sounds like it got higher from wine. And they're saying turn to the right and click on this red rose for the next riddle. So this is a high plant, but I don't like it was sounds like it got higher from wine. It would make more sense if it says sounds like it grew higher from red wine, or it looks like it grew higher from red wine. If you threw red in there, that'd be a little helpful, but still a pretty useless hint. These hints feel like they're being written by someone who doesn't speak English.
Yeah?
I hope that you would. I would, just for you.
Thanks.
So, do you think you have a role for me in your new play? Am I
Play?
right for the part?
Well, geez, I don't know.
I'd be very grateful. Very grateful.
Is this guy a play actor?
What's the matter? You don't like me? You don't want me in your play?
Listen, it's not that I don't want you in my play.
I know I'm right for the part. I could give you more.
They both look real. Not ghostly, they both touched each other.
Where Robin is?
Who's Robin? What do you want with her? What's wrong with me? Please, take me out of here. Please, take me with you. Before it's too late.
Just like a really weird effect there. I don't think he's a play actor. I thought he was like a news journalist, like, and the girl that he was sleeping with was his like editor. So it feels like even the writer of the story here has completely lost the plot and can't keep things consistent. That probably would have been better as a fade, by the way, and not just a television noise thing. So the next
What kind
hint,
of jewelry is angrier?
and it might as well make you see these hints and just say them out loud after you solve each one of these hidden object puzzles, because there's zero chance anybody would just randomly click on the thing that you're supposed to. So what kind of jewelry is angrier? A choker, a necklace, a ring, an earring, a crown. I think choker would probably be your best guess, but have we seen a collar or a choker or anything along that line? I mean, you could talk clamps, like nipple clamps and things like that. I guess those are technically jewelry, and I guess technically that could get some people angry, but I doubt the game is referencing that. Not at the age of this. Well, regardless, not willing to waste time wandering around. I'm supposed to leave this room and then go forward and turn to the right and then go forward twice. And I bet I go to the left because that would be the room that I haven't been in yet. And saying examine this jewelry box on the far right that you can barely even see. Yeah. I guess if you're gonna remake the Seventh Guest, you would want to have each of the guests be really well written, fleshed out characters. Minimum 4 hours of footage, backstory, people that aren't just cliched bad guys or good guys. Just amazingly great writing. And I suppose if you're going to remake the Seventh Guest, you probably would just want the name of the game and a full reboot, and that's about it. Otherwise, you could call the game something like Until Dawn, and Until Dawn is kind of a horror game with a bunch of people that can live or die, and I'd say Until Dawn is probably a great example of this. I hope Until Dawn is the game I'm thinking about. It had a whole butterfly effect where if you save somebody, it affected the events later on in the game, and there was probably more than 7 teenagers you could have saved the lives of. So yeah, the idea of 7 guests showing up is interesting, although it does also get to an older style of Tin Little Indians, or probably a more relatable reference, the Clue movie, where there's a bunch of guests and they're all potential murderers. And so it probably would feel a lot like that. Although it's not like there are great Clue games for PC anyway, so telling something that was kind of cluish would probably not be a problem. Although you'd also want to go with horror. And with seventh guests, if you had each person potentially crazy, potentially hallucinating, seeing something different, and you jumped between their perspectives, that would be really interesting. Say one person is always seeing demons, one person's always seeing dogs, one person's always seeing spiders, that the house itself just shows you what you're afraid of. That'd be a very interesting idea too. So I'm supposed to examine it in the far right corner of the room. That's going to bring me to a puzzle. So, what am I supposed to do in this puzzle? We keep doing the exact same thing. We keep finding puzzles, trying to figure out what we're supposed to do.
Must be adjacent to a gem of a matching color.
Can I solve this? So each one of this needs to match one of these. And are these going to just rotate, or are these going to straight up move? I might be able to do this. We have what looks like a reset button, but apparently isn't. Well, we'll see if this works. Since there's no purple down, that actually tells us that purple has to be presented upward on pretty much all of them. And since we have only one green, that means these three pretty much have to be in that order, I think. Although that might be wrong also. Yeah, we may just be in a case where a situation where there's just too much room for variety here. Yep. I do just want to be done with this game too. So, yeah, there's no yellow up and there's no purple down, which pretty much means this one can't be where it is, and this one has to be something like this. That's kind of the only way you can have both purple up and yellow down and it not be an issue. And this needs to be something like that, even though that doesn't work. Maybe if I move these two around. Let's see. These aren't rotating in any way. They're in the exact same orientation. It's just complicated. And if I could work my way around these two, I could probably solve the rest of them. See, we're kind of making some progress. We've got this, and this in the right place. And then that. But this one piece just won't work. And I don't think that there's much of a way to change any of that. Alright, so let's just reset it and let's just do this. Starting from here, you swap discs 3 and 4, if they're named 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then you swap discs, the new disc 3 and 6, and then you swap disc 3 and 5, which doesn't seem like it's done too much. It says, now leave disc 1 and then rotate the other discs to match. How am I supposed to rotate them? Right click has not done anything in this game. Oh. Well, if the game had explained to me that that was the solution, then no duh, it would be super easy to have found the solution, wouldn't it? But since the game did not say I could spin the discs, nor did it make it obvious in any way that that was something that could happen, that's rather lame. And apparently we're gonna have to.
You'll not find the next one as pleasant.
Interesting. As soon as I solved it too, it just kind of jumped. So I don't know if I glitched into a solution there or what. What's our next hint? What kind of jewelry gets angrier is still the same hint. Turn left and look at the vanity. And then click on the earring. I don't know why an earring gets angrier, but okay.
Now, if we only had a matching ear.
And then yeah, clearly he's just making you see things that may or may not be there. Then the next hint.
Hear a well-mannered cockney with a 60s hairstyle.
I don't know why Stauf is helping you when he seems to kind of hate you and is just screwing with you. Why not give no hints or the wrong hints? So a cockney with a 60s hairstyle, I think probably is either something we haven't seen or it's one of the dogs, like a cocker spaniel, but I don't think I've seen a cocker spaniel dog in any of the pictures. Turn to the right, go forward 4 times. 1, 2, it's always too long. 3, 4 times. Turn to the right and go forward to the attic. And 1 click moves you automatically to the attic. And then go up the next set of steps and look at the beehive puzzle on the ground. This is another game against Stauf where you must end up with more honey than blood. So now you can walk through here in this area, the attic. Now there was a puzzle with blocks in the first game that was really a pain. Pretty much all the puzzles were a pain. And there was like a magical mirror in this area and it seems to be completely missing now. And this area seems to be kind of smaller. And apparently we can see the sky and it's not dark outside, which you'd kind of think it would be. Interesting little animated bees there. We haven't been seeing a lot of that. End up with more honey than blood. That, I don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll see. We'll jump there. Okay. So we're playing a hexacomb version of Othello, by the looks of it. Which is gonna suck because that tells me I'm gonna have to work fairly hard here for this to work, because it's gonna do that. Yeah. And what we want to do is kind of lock them in such a way that we leave the center kind of open. If we can kind of create a barrier, that would be better. I'm getting a lot of sound effects that for a second there felt like my phone was just making weird sound effects. I was like, why would my phone be making noises?
I don't know how we make this any easier.
I mean, that's just bull. It is not easy. It just isn't. And I assume this is somewhat randomized. If you can get in corners, you potentially are in a bit of safer position. Maybe. I'm not 100% certain on that one. Can I jump up here? No. Could be that maybe the best solution isn't always the most obvious solution, or what seems like the most obvious solution, but it could be exactly that it is. Yeah, the music just feels really weird. That should be a nice turnaround for us. But it really isn't. I think just desperately trying to keep it under control and kind of failing miserably at it. Yep, this is a just like the Game of Life puzzle. A big pain. That trade, probably a good trade. And then this is probably not a bad trade here. And doing that's probably not a bad idea. Then I take all of those. He gets just a few back. Where I can take those two. And take those two. And let's see. How do we want to address this? This one. Go ahead and jump over here and take 3. If I could get a bit of a barrier right now, I could potentially get the entire top section to myself. But I'm not sure. That's really where this is going to turn into. Let's see. We're kind of tying it up. Sort of. This is another one of these puzzles, though, that there's just that huge danger of the player wasting their time and not winning after putting a lot of moves into it. And that's not what anybody wants to see happen. Can this jump all the way over there? No. So I'm gonna jump here. And then take that. And then go ahead and take that. And go ahead and take that. Interesting. Well, so I'm in this danger position where he could jump, but if he jumped, it'd almost be to my benefit. That's kind of true in a couple of these instances. So if I just copy that, oh darn it, I can't make that jump. He's taking me out pretty badly. This really could just come down to one mistake. And if I'm not careful, that one mistake will kill me. Can't make that jump. You don't have any counters here. So it becomes kind of hard to figure out if you've won or not.
You have the intellect of a banana slow, and the same good looks.
Apparently I lost. Where it feels like I'd like to see the count there, because that doesn't feel like I should have lost. Really. Guess if we take out his angles here, we can start to work from that direction and see that see how this turns out. Alright. See, that's probably a really dumb move. Yeah. Wish I could just undo that one move. But I can't. So you do something like this and hope that's not a dumb move. And you do something like this and you hope that's not a dumb move. And you do something like this and you hope it's not a dumb move. And you do something like this and you just keep on hoping. And it keeps on not working for you. The strategy is pretty awful. Obviously. Straight up take that. This should be a good trade. And jumping here is probably a decent trade. Nope, really wasn't. Yeah, I can't even really tell what the good moves are. Is the problem. It seems like you just can easily be messed up and defeated because the computer can figure out the one thing that's slightly smarter to do than what I'm trying to do, which is to kind of just have a base solution, a simplistic, like, what gets me more points right now, and I don't want to spend enough time and energy in this to try and figure out some long-term goal, because that's not gonna work out for me. It's not worth the effort to try to figure out major strategies in something like this. Let's see. I would guess the jumping is probably not a good move, normally speaking, because it opens up this hole but in some instances it might actually be a good move. Feels like if I win here, I am just gonna win because the game is gonna have some small amount of pity on me. I would say more than anything. It's just gonna decide that I deserve a break. I'm gonna just slightly eke out having more. See, I guess jumping here is probably not a big deal. I guess jumping here might not be such a big deal. I really don't want to have to count all of these though. This is the problem. Definitely is that we're just gonna constantly have this desire, this need to count the number of pips you have to, since the game doesn't automatically do that for you. That was a decent trade. So would I want to jump here? I mean, probably wouldn't affect too much. See, this feels like this would give me 4 if I jumped here, and then it would leave him open to taking 3. Or I have this jump that direction, which I don't think I can do. Let's just copy ourselves over this way. Okay. So how do we want to do this? I think if I copy this in, that makes it fairly hard for him to go any further. Like, I've kind of blocked him off. I still feel like I'm gonna lose here, though. Do I somehow have slightly more? Like when everything is said and done, well, I still have some more. Gives me 3 or 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, then a whole bunch here. I think the move is to copy yourself here, and then he'll copy himself there and get 1, get 2, without just trying to copy everything here though. Without trying to count everything. I don't know if... See, he did mention that he's a reporter. This just sucks. It's just not good. It's not a good experience. How do you say it any other way differently? Like if I jump here and I have 2, he'll take me out. So I think you probably want to start kind of quickly and kind of just copy. And just try to create a wall. And maybe you can make a jump at this point. Yeah, it just doesn't feel like you can easily get ahead, or I can figure out what the strategy is. I think we're 16 minutes over. I think I'm just gonna have to play this game off screen too. Much like the train puzzle, I think we are in a position where this is gonna just be 30 minutes of gameplay that's not gonna be entertaining and not gonna be interesting. Again, this is probably the first game I've ever had to say this about, but it really feels like it gets it what it deserves when people would potentially just want to watch a walkthrough for this game instead of actually play it. When it's not giving you an option to skip, it's not treating you in a particularly fair way, it's not making it feel like you can win easily, and it's not respecting the player's time. I mean, I can pretty much just say already that I know I have already lost. So, what if we were to jump down here? Then you just immediately lose that, and so you might as well just reset again. So what if we were to copy down here? And then copy down here and take the 2 as it were, and then copy over here and then jump over there and take that out. That puts us in an interesting position now where we can maybe stalk the guy a little bit and have several points to try and engage from before you have to get too crazy with it. So if I could just draw a bit of a line down this way, I'd have basically half of the path cleared. So if I can kind of work my way around here. But is there a real reason why you would want to jump and like take this out? Probably not. I could certainly do that and try to gain some. see I didn't really get anywhere with that. Jump over here and try to gain some more. We can try and copy ourselves over here. Try and gain some more. It's really no skin over our teeth to jump over here and try and gain all of that. Copy those. Go ahead and copy that. I think you probably are better off trying to play from the outside in, but it is just slow. Undeniably slow. How do we want to go about with this? I'm just getting wrecked. Like, that's all that's happening. Like, I'm just getting wrecked over and over and over again by an AI that either understands the programming a lot better than me or is somehow cheating in a way that I don't recognize. These are not the kinds of games that have really much relevance, if any relevance, in 2020. Nobody wants to play this. Nobody wants to play against an AI. Like, this isn't fun or interesting or different. It's just tedium. There's just frustration abound, as it's fairly obvious, trying to secure what feels like potentially just one extra honeycomb. Let's see. If I jump over here, does that block him off well enough? I don't think it really does. Part of the problem is you just don't have the ability to distract the AI. Like, it's not going to get distracted, it's not going to look the wrong direction, it's not going to make a mistake. So it can just lie in wait forever to see its opening. And as soon as it sees that opening, it can just pounce completely. And I don't think that there's a quick victory solution to this either. This might be a good trade, but this might be a mistake too. This might be a good trade, but it might be a mistake too. this will be the last game we play for this recording. If I don't win here, then we'll just have to give up, and I'll have to play off screen. Like, there's not a solution that I see. At some point this guy is gonna jump, and when he jumps he's gonna take a bunch and I'm gonna get one back, and that'll be that. Like, he's kind of blocked me off. So if he jumps this way he'll get 3, if he jumps that way he'll get less. This should be a decent trade, but it kinda isn't. Let's see. Do we want to copy that? Or do we want to do something different? I think I just lost. Yeah. I don't think I have enough.
You have the intellect of a banana slug, and the same good looks.
Okay, well, we are 30 minutes over. That's going to be it for this recording. I'm going to just have to play this off screen. Oh, probably you're going to miss a small line of dialogue that I won't be able to record, but that's probably all we're going to miss. This is just awful, and the game just constantly seems to get worse and worse with these puzzles, and I recall the 7th guest being the same way. After this, then we'd be into the next act, and then there's an act after that. It doesn't seem like, looking at the walkthrough, that there's too much more gameplay, but depending on how difficult and how just monotonous and boring and time taking all of these puzzles are, it could be easily a couple more hours. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and get me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.